Institute. If I can get to my next slide here. Uh, this is our third speaker. You can see we have a few more speakers lined up for the remainder of the calendar year. Our next immediate speaker is Srinivas Geetapalli, Crash Analytics. It's part of a student project that he was conducting. Katie Womack will be in October talking about traffic safety culture survey that she does on a regular basis here. And then Melissa Finley talking about the Transportation Safety Technical Services Clearinghouse. That'll be in December. And we're already lining up speakers for the next calendar year. We're trying to hold these about every other month, and we've got a ton of content that we can share out with the rest of the world. If you know anybody who's interested in transportation safety topics, uh, do share this information with them because we really want to start to incorporate and attract people from a wider audience so that they can make use of this information beyond just the people in TTI. What I'd like to do is, the very first thing is in the chat window, if you have a chance, if you would type in your name and what organization you're from, and if you have a particular interest in VR or driving simulator training, you might want to type that in there too. If you have any questions later on during the presentation, please do put those in the chat window as well. And I will try and monitor that and feed those questions to Dr. Ko as we move along in today's presentation. So today we're really fortunate to have an exceptionally multidisciplinary, talented researcher like Dr. Myung Ko. He's a research engineer in the crash analytics program within the Center for Transportation Safety. As a side note, I met Myung like 11 years ago when I first came back to TTI, and he has served as the programmer for the driving simulator, in addition to all of his normal research duties. And he makes these really marvelous three-dimensional worlds and driving scenarios through which all of our study participants can drive. And he really does just an absolutely amazing job with all of those virtual worlds that I have to deal with in the driving simulator. So I'm really eager to see what he's been working on in the VR space as well. So with that, I do want to turn it over to Myung. Myung, I'm going to stop sharing if you want to go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, yep. So can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yep, great. So I can, hold on. I can turn out. Okay, yeah. So hi everyone, I'm Myungho at the Crash Analytic program. I appreciate your attendance and this opportunity to share my project. So prior to starting my presentations, I have to beg your understanding. So my home AC is out now, so it is expected technicians will visit sometime of the today. So if I receive a call, I have to get it. So just I beg your pardon or understanding in advance. So today I would like to present the visualization technologies for the vulnerable roadway user education and training. Yeah, please feel free to chime in if you have any questions while presentations. So it is a lunchtime, and I prepared some enjoyable or digestible presentations for you. So okay, awesome. Okay. Yep. So this is the content of today's presentations. So it's going to be start explanations of the background and followed by some example outputs like animations and VR, virtual reality experience, and AR, augmented reality experience the TTI team developed so far. And these presentations will end with some future research plan using these visualization technologies. So here is the bar graph showing the number of the pedestrians or bicyclists who got a fatal, severe, or minor injuries. We can call it KAB from the 2018 to 2022. So yellow bar shows all age pedestrian or bicyclist, and the green bar, small green bar, shows the pedestrian or bicyclist who are aged 15 years older or younger. So, so I will show another graph of the number of the pedestrians or bicyclists who got fatal or severely or minor injured. Okay. So you can compare the two graphs. So you might notice the difference on the numbers between the two graphs, although they target the same groups, right? So right graph shows about 20% higher numbers than left graph. So can you guess what makes this difference? They target the same group, same pedestrian or bicyclist who are involved in the crash, KAB crashes. So the difference is it is a reportable crash or non-reportable crash. So the left one is only about the reportable crashes only. But the right one include the reportable and non-reportable crashes involving pedestrian or bicyclist. So text defines the reportable crash means a crash occurs on the traffic way and resulted in an injury or property damage of $1,000 or more. So if a crash occurs on a non-traffic way, such as a parking lot or driveway, it is counted as non-reportable crashes. So or age pedestrian or bicyclist, so non-reportable crashes accounted for about 18%. So overall, non-reportable crashes account 18%. But however, for the younger pedestrians or bicyclists, so non-reportable crashes account for about 20%. So about 2% more for the younger pedestrian or bicyclist. So we can say that younger pedestrian or bicyclist safety is under evaluated than other age groups. So because they are more younger pedestrian or bicyclist injuries as counted as non-reportable. So regardless of reportable or non-reportable, it is important matter for us, right? So we are the safety engineers, right? So especially for the non-reportable crashes at the driveway, so it is much painful because the offender and the victim at the crashes are related as a family, friends, or neighbors. So this graph, so you can see the one graph. So it shows the younger pedestrian or bicyclist who got KAV injuries at the crashes by the roadway classifications and the traffic control device. The horizontal is the roadway classifications, and the vertical is the number of the people. And you can see the different color bars. So it light blue is none. So there is no traffic control device, and a little bit light brown shows the marked lane. So only there is only marked lane at the site. Okay. So also this includes the non-reportable crashes too. So majority of the younger pedestrian or bicyclist or is involved in the crashes occurred on the city street, right? So it accounts for the 62% of total crashes. So total pedestrian or bicyclist involved crashes. Okay. So and the next one is the non-traffic crash, non-traffic way crashes. So it accounts for the 20%. Okay. So by the traffic control types, so many younger pedestrian or bicyclists injured at the site, controlled by nothing, so no traffic control device, and followed by marked lane. So we can say the younger pedestrian or bicyclist involved in crashes are more likely to occur in the residential or walkable area and the site where who has a right of way is not clear for the youngers, right? So although I do not include about the contributing factor at the crashes, but the top contributing factors are drivers' inattention and the pedestrians failed to yield right of way to the vehicle. So I thought we can prevent many crashes if we can educate younger about uh, the rule of the right of way or defensive walking or biking tips on the street or parking lots. So how to educate the younger and how to change their behavior. So prior to answering these questions, I would like to remind you that the Newton's motion laws. So we already learned it at the elementary school, right? So a long time ago, but I wanted to remind you the law. So first law is every object persists in its current state of motions unless an external force acts upon it. Makes sense, right? And the second law is that the force of external uh, the the force of an object is equal to the product of its mass and its accelerations. So F equal ma. Right? And the third law is for every actions there is a unequal and opposite reactions. So let me change this Newton's law on the human's behavior. So first law is an object will not change its motion unless an external force acts on it. Okay. So I try to change a little bit Newton's first law. Okay. So my insist is humans will not change its behaviors unless safety effort act on it. So as you can see the diagram at the bottoms, there is a risk behavior in the wrong directions, right? And if we provide the safety effort to change directions, so behaviors can turn into the safety directions. So move on the next Newton's law. So second law is the force of an object is equal to the products of its mass and accelerations, right? We can assume the force is our effort to change the risk behaviors. Mass is age. and the environment for the accelerations. So I think the amount of effort on human is equal to its age times its environment. So if we can start the safety effort for the younger kids, we can easily change their unsafe behaviors. In other words, we need to put more effort, more monies into the changing risk behaviors as people get older. So we know it is hard to correct the bad behavior that is exposed for the longer time, right? So I think we need to start the safety educations as early as possible. So the third law is about action and reactions. So if we try to do something to fix or change risk behaviors, people will definitely show the positive reactions, but it will be gradually change, not quick change. So we should be patient to observe the outcomes. So there are a few types of safety effort. So like roadway infrastructure improvement like engineering and enforcement and education. So we call it 3E, right? So of these 3E, I have focused on the safety educations to change human behaviors. So based on the second law, if we do only child educations, so we can easily change their behaviors with less effort and less money. So as a bonus, its safety effect due to the early educations will have a long-lasting impact on the adulthood. Right? So Texas targets Vision Zero, so zero fatality on the road by the 2050. So current kindergarten students will be about 3 years old adult in the 2050. So as the main road user groups, so they will be the primary pillar to achieve the Vision Zero on road. So the title is All I Really Need to Know I Learned in the Kindergarten. So it is very interesting and a meaningful statement, right? So I guess most of you already graduated the kindergarten. So, but I did not. So because I was born in 1973 in South Korea, so at the times only a few rich family was affordable to let their kids go to kindergarten. So my family was not rich, so I could not go to the kindergarten. So so you can call me some uncivilized persons because of my no experience on the kindergarten, I need your advice. So what did you learn in the kindergarten? Think about it. So if you graduated the kindergarten, so think about what did you learn in the kindergarten. So did you study algebra or biology or chemistry? No, right? So we learned social skill to make a friend and how to play with the kids and, and eat regularly and how to rest and rules in the classroom. Some basic things, right? For the living or social, right? So that's all. So it's a simple but the essentials. We don't need to know the physics or algebra, calculus, biology to live together, right? So we learned all essential information in the kindergarten. So TTI team has developed some essential safety education materials for these young children. So this idea was initiated uh, uh, for my daughter. So when she was 7 years old, so a long time ago, so I'm a father and a safety engineers working at TTI. So I wanted to make some age appropriate and kids friendly safety education tool for my daughter or the young children. So this is the background for my project. Okay. So since 2018, so TTI team developed many education materials. So we developed a web page to distribute the materials and conduct educational activities. And let us look over the web page. Okay, let me share. Share. Oops. Okay. Can you see the web page?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is a layout of the web page. So we categorize the age groups pre-K to first grade and the second to fourth grade and the fifth to eighth grade. So for each age groups, we developed a few some educational materials. Right? So we can watch some sample. So this is about educating young kids about the safety of helmet use. I hope you can hear sound, right?
Yes, we can hear it.
Awesome.
Harley, come on.
Just a moment. Hobbit, stop. You need a helmet.
Right, I forgot. All right, ready.
Great. Hey, Mom's home.
Where are you going? Did you ask your dad?
Yeah, Dad said we could go to the playground.
Be careful. And make sure you look left, right, and left again when crossing the street.
We can help you before we go, Mom.
Thanks, guys.
I can carry 3 bags and the eggs. Bet you can't do that, Harley.
Hobbit, are you okay?
Sorry, I dropped the eggs.
Hobbit, look. The eggs that fell out of the carton broke, but the eggs inside are okay.
We need to wear a helmet to protect our heads.
I should have worn a helmet.
Hobbit. That's right, helmets protect us.
Yep. Now let's clean this up so we can go to the park.
Yeah, so because these animations clips based on some crash statistics because many young bicyclists who are involved in injury crashes, they did not wear helmets. So we tried to make the animations to encourage to wear the helmet while biking. Okay. Okay. Let's skip. So these we created a few animations in English and Spanish. So about I think it's 3 years ago. So at that time, the company Facebook. So Facebook changed its company name to Meta. So they try to focus on their business on developing some VR some stuff, right? So I have an idea. So what about we can make some materials using these virtual reality VR technologies to educate young children? Because the VR is kind of a virtual space, not the actual road, right? So we can minimize or remove the risk of exposed to practice on actual street, right? So we can practice how to cross safely or how to ride a bike safely in the virtual space. Okay. Let me share a demo video of about the VR experience we developed. Yeah, for your reference, this project is funded by Tax.e grants. So, but so I wanted to mention about this virtual safety educations keep evolved. But we look at a demo video about the VR experience the TTI team developed, but there is some limitations. So that is only for the single users. So yeah, the VR itself is a very self-explanatory and so easy, and it includes detailed narrations to help playing for the users. But however, it is only for the single persons. So I have an idea. So maybe we can develop some applications for the multi-users. So this year's TTI team with Texas A&M developed a virtual space for the multi-user education and the safety practice. So here's the demo video. So in the top left screen, so video, so there's three persons. So instructors, so instructor, it is Kitesh. He is a master student in the computer engineering. And the student one is Edgar. So Dr. Edgar, he is a professor at the Texas A&M at the visualization department. And the student two is me. Okay, let me play.
Let's do it quickly because the battery of this guy is like dying a little bit.
So three persons try to join the one virtual space together. Okay.
Should we join?
So there is four
Should we join
screens.
and start?
So top one is over
Remember
the
that whenever
screen,
we
and
move
the
our view very
top
small,
right one
we don't want
is
to be
the
starting at the
screen from the instructor view, and the bottom right is students one, and the bottom left is a view from the student
Should we
two.
join? Yes. Okay.
So once they join with their own
We need to put on
name, so they are joined in the virtual lobby. So they're waiting for everyone access into the lobby. Okay. So instructor and the student one join the lobby now, and we are waiting for the student to join. Okay.
waiting for Dr. Ko to join. Everything looks fine.
Okay, now everybody joined in the one same virtual lobby or space.
Seems to be again.
So now the instructor can
Hello.
control
Can
the
you hear
whole
me? Do you see me?
environment. Right? So
Hello.
we can see the three
Perfect.
persons in the virtual
Okay, so
space, right?
let's go
Okay.
into the pedestrian safety environment.
Okay, so now we teleport
Once fine,
to
guys, can
the
you please look around?
pedestrian safety practice space, another virtual space.
Where is the instructor? There is the instructor. Hello.
So this kind of a
Perfect. Okay,
teleport
so
only
let me
controlled
go
by
ahead
the instructors.
to the
So in
experience.
the virtual space, instructor can explain some safety rules and some shows some example how to cross a street safely or in a section safely,
Continue vote.
and then can transfer
And
the
after,
control
okay,
role
shouldn't
to any students in the virtual
I
space.
will take you to
So
experience
now
area of
the
experience.
students want practice.
You don't
So
have
you
to
can
do
see
votes.
that the bottom right one. So it is a student's one view. So he is practicing now. So it is a
Oh my
mid
God.
block crossing. Okay. So he look left, right, and left again, right? And now it's turn to the eye contact with the driver. Okay. So they communicate each other. I'm crossing now. And pick the basketball and back to the original side. So it is the same rules. Turn, look left, right, okay, and left again. Okay, and so there is no vehicle, so he can cross the street, right? And keep going, right? And he gonna face one signalized intersections. Okay.
Oh, hello. I'm saying hi all to you. You cannot see my hand saying hi.
So before crossing the stop sign, control the intersections. Look left and look right and left again. Right. And after eye contact with the drivers, so he crossed the intersection safely.
Hello.
So it is just a demo video of what
Is that
we
enough or
developed so far. Okay.
Yes, I think so. Okay, so
Okay, move on the next some example we developed. So this year, so the TTI team works for the educational materials for uh, younger driver safety using AR, augmented reality technologies. So here is the demo video of the AR. So you can download it at the Google app or Google Play Store and Apple App Store. So it is app we developed. So it's about the educate the risk of speeding on the curve. So you can see the some speed slide bar on your right. So each curve has on its speed limit. So the participant should control the vehicle speed at each curve. Right? So vehicle speed is below the speed limit, so it is totally fine. But once when the vehicle speed over the speed limit, so it's automatically crash with the trees. Okay, so we can compare the vehicle damages or collision force by the different speed, 60, 45, 30 miles per hour. Okay. And then, so we move to the augmented reality environment. Okay. So scan their own environment now, and then we can visualize the damage to the vehicle. So we can show how damages occurred on their vehicle, okay? And also we added a few some safety messages from the Nietzsche about the risk of speeding. So how many people died due to the speeding, something, yeah. So it is a free resource to educate the risk of speeding. Okay, so you can download it and play it at the Google Play Store and Apple App Store. Yeah. So now I would like to share some the future plans. So now until now, so far we look at our past and the present of the project using some technologies, right? So here is my plan for the future project. So first one is, so this year we developed the multi-user applications, but still this application has limitations. That limitations is all, it is a kind of a virtual space education, but all participants should be in one same physical place. Right? So to solve these limitations, I plan to develop the remote virtual education practice. So there's no need to in the same physical space to participate at the virtual educations. So like a Zoom meeting, so everyone can wear their own VR device and all persons in the same virtual space and practice about the safety walking or biking on the virtual street. So I don't think it's a big task, but it's gonna be solved easily. Okay. And the next some research plan is to integrate VR technologies or AR technology into driver or pedestrian or bicyclist simulators. So current VR device in the market has many decent functions like eye tracking, right? So once we integrate this VR or AR technology to measure humans' behaviors, so I think it is a very good tool for the study or educations or training. So especially these VR simulations or simulators does not require high maintenance fees or cost rather than driving simulators. So I'm thinking about how to incorporate these technologies for the driving simulators. Okay. I think this is the all for the today's webinar. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation today. So do you have any questions? Please feel free to ask. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Myung. We'll open it up for questions. There's a question in the chat box. Gabby, uh, what age group was the Harley and Hobbit VR individual activity created for? I'll let you answer that first.
Okay, we target age 11 to 14. So we developed some VR experience as well as some education curriculum. So that we have some education specialist, right, Kim. So she developed some education material, some curriculums that can be used in the classrooms.
Awesome. And then second question, is this VR game only available on Meta Quest VR headsets, or can other headset brands have the game as well?
Yeah, unfortunately, we target the Meta Quest. So yeah, but so to improve some accessibility of our VR experience, we exactly same VRs we posted at the webpage Harley and Hobbit roadwaysafety.com. So I already shared the webpage. So you can search look at the webpage. There's some WebGL versions. So you don't need to get the download any softwares or programs. So just play at the webpage. That's all. So this is identical. So yeah.
Okay, and I think that partially answers the third question regarding the Young Driver augmented reality apps. Are they supposed to be used with a VR headset, or can they be used without a VR headset?
So there's no need to any VR to play the app. So they can play using their smartphone or the tablet. So yeah.
Okay. And my one of my questions, Myung, is do you have any metrics on how many times it's been that those apps have been downloaded on those stores, or is it early enough to where you don't have a, like you're not tracking it yet, or maybe you don't have a lot of downloads yet?
Uh, w- uh, so we developed this app a few weeks ago. So I submitted for because this is the TechStop project. So we
Okay.
submitted the TechStop approval. So last night I got the approval. So we can track how many persons get download and if some feedback if they have. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Other questions? We'll open it up. If you have a question, please unmute your line and just feel free to ask. So, Myung, what's the feedback from kids, I guess, from young adults or kids in that age range? I assume you've talked to them. What do they like, and is there anything they dislike?
So again, that project started in 2018. So every years is continued. So, but this is only 1 year project, single 1 year project. So in 2018, we tried to develop some education materials and also try to conduct some educational activities. So normally we finished the development by early June or yeah. So we try to find some facility or place to conduct educational sessions, but we did it a few sessions for the younger kids. But at the following project, we removed some object of the outreach activities. So yeah, but
Okay.
at the first years, so we got the great feedback from the parents and the children. Yeah.
Okay. And what about your daughter? Has she looked at this to see?
So once I developed this some outputs, she already in the middle school, so she is not interested. So yeah.
But I do like your three how you have interpreted the Newton's law, the three laws of Newton
Oh yeah,
earlier. It's very
yeah.
interesting to think about it that way, and I
Awesome.
think it's very
Thank you.
applicable as we think about transportation safety
Yeah.
and when in somebody's life we can have a maximal impact
Hmm.
on someone's life. Uh,
Awesome.
Scott has a question here. Is there a teaching track? Is there a teaching track to encourage parents to share in the training with children to help remind them of traffic rules as well as children can develop good and bad habits from older road users whom they might emulate?
Okay, yeah, it's very interesting question. So yeah. So in the developing process, we have a team, several team meeting to select the topic for the uh, animations or VR. So, but the topic is totally based on the crash analytics analysis or safety assessment. So we try to identify some bad habits or bad behavior at the crashes. So we try to look at some contributing factors at the crashes involving young pedestrian or bicyclist, and then we selected a topic. So yeah, but we try to get some feedback from the parents or children or teachers, but the primary source of the topic is based on the crash analysis.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, other questions? Awesome. Well, thank
Hi,
you, Mary. Oh, go ahead.
hi. Sorry, my name's Eddie Martin, and I'm with NetEdge VR. And I didn't have a question, even though I very much appreciate this presentation and this focus. Just because of people on the call may have interest, will drop in a video. We've been doing VR driving simulation using low-cost VR hardware as an experiment we do vocational training for airport ramp work, and we had autistic interns, and we saw that they were able to gain some skills out of what we were doing. So we've sort of branched off and tried to focus on that, and it may have broader application. Anyway, because this is a group that might have interest in something like that on this call, I just dropped a video in that you could look at out of the comments if you like.
Yeah. And I agree with where you're going. I have to say my name's associated with the driving simulator here at TTI, and I get phone calls about once a month from uh, parents or caregivers or children or kids who have a parent who need some sort of driving experience, exposure to driving in the scenarios, but they don't want to put them in a real life risky situation. And a lot of these parents have like you have autistic uh, people, individuals that you work with. We get a lot of questions from parents who have children with ADHD. We get questions from children who have an elderly parent who maybe had a stroke and who is recovering, and they want to give them some driving experience. They want to get back to driving, but they need that extra help. And I think this whole area, I know Myung is really working on the young drivers, really young, or I shouldn't say young drivers, but young kids, young adults, who aren't yet of driving age. But I think that in my eyes, the VR and simulation environments have a lot of potential application to help these special groups of people, whether it's you know a person with a disability, or like in Myung's case, we have children who don't yet have a lot of exposure to laws and scenarios and stuff that they will need for the rest of their life. So I think there's a lot of potential value in this area, and as the price of these technologies continues to drop, it just VR headsets, they're still, a couple $100 to get into it, but when 10 years ago they were much, much more expensive. And I think now, with the improvements in technology and lower cost, this is going to become a much more realistic solution for a lot of training and education needs. Sorry, I jumped on my soapbox there for a second. Sorry.
I absolutely agree. And if you watch the video and you see the kids there, and you realize 70% of autistics, despite having no intellectual deficiency, nonetheless never learned to drive. And the trauma of the training process is one of the key reasons they cite. And then 80% of autistics go on to be unemployed. Um, there's an important social factor there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us and sharing that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Other questions, comments? Awesome. Well, with that, I'll thank you, Myung. I really appreciate your presentation today.
Thank you so much.
We'll have our next presentation, like I said, is about 2 months from now, and we'll send out invites to everybody who joined us today. And then we generally have a call. We generally have an announcement on our webpage about a month or so before the next one. So we cover a wide range of transportation topics. We cover a wide range of projects. Some of those are with our partners at TxDOT, who really do an absolutely wonderful job of promoting transportation safety and trying to address it. So we want to kind of provide through this presentation series exposure to as many different projects as we can, and just help people understand the landscape in transportation safety here in Texas. So with that, I'll thank you for joining us, and I wish everybody a good and happy rest of your day. Thank you.